Right, now we're going to knock up our mud crab dumplings. First off, we're going to start with an egg. Beat that up. We've got a Chinese white pepper. We're just going to use a pinch of that. We're going to be careful with the Chinese white pepper because it's quite strong. That'll do us. Now we've got our beautiful fresh ginger out of the garden. Let's take this little bit of green away. Smash that down. You don't have to chop this absolutely too finely because this beautiful new seasoned ginger, it's not tough, not chewy. Gives a beautiful flavour to the dish. Don't want any huge pieces in it though. Now a little bit. Take off that bit of root there. Our crab meat. This is from the crab that I steamed yesterday and pulled the meat out from the shell. So as you can see, beautiful clean meat. We've got the meat out of the legs, the meat out of the body. Left it in nice rough chunks because the whole dish is about the crab. So in goes the ginger. Roughly chop our coriander. Want this reasonably fine so we're not getting big chunks of it. There goes the coriander. Now our garlic chives. Doing this reasonably fine slice. Garlic chives gives a wonderful flavour into the dumplings. Say if you're using something a lot stronger like garlic or spring onions, just allows that crab to shine. We want to have nice delicate flavours. So what you're really getting through is this taste of the crab. Alright. Long bits out, and then goes the garlic chives. Okay, now we want a little drizzle of sesame oil, which gives a beautiful flavour and also helps bind everything together. Want a good, even though we've got a bit of salt in the crab, we want a nice little bit of salt in the mixture. Brings out the flavour. I like to put the salt and pepper into the egg. I know when I mix that in, that'll get it evenly mixed right the way through the whole dumpling mix. So we won't get some bits that have got no pepper and no salt. Okay, just about there. Used a lumpy bit of pepper, which was a bit silly. I should have had that a little bit finer, but anyway, it'll all be fine. In that goes. And that is our basic dumpling mix. So we just gently fold that through. We're not trying to smash up the crab meat too much. Just get it all mixed in nicely and we'll be ready to put it in the wrappers. Now we're ready to start making up our dumplings. I use just a supermarket brand of wonton wrappers. Some of them are easier to separate than others. Okay, so we've got our mix. Got a little bit of water in the bowl to help us stick together. I've got my wok steamer. I put some baking paper in the bottom of the wok steamer to stop our dumplings from sticking to the bottom when we steam them in the wok, over the wok. So grab a wrapper, a bit of mixture, not too much. or you'll find it too hard to get the dumplings to seal properly. 2 corners like that, fold it up, just crimp it along as best you can, and there we have, whoop, one dumpling. You tend to get a little bit better as you go along. The first one's always a little bit rugged. If you see the Chinese chefs making dim sum, they'll make about 100 to my 5, so, or more, and they'll look a lot neater. But anyway, these will do the trick. So we just seal those two sides with the water, press down, and there we have another dumpling. They mightn't look the prettiest, but they'll taste great. Okay. Just a little bit too much of that one, and that's what happens. It makes it hard for yourself. Calm down a bit with my quantities. Try to keep the mixture off the edges of the pastry that you're trying to seal, because the oil in it makes it harder for it to seal. It doesn't have to be perfect. In the steamer it's quite forgiving. If you were boiling them, you'd have to be a lot more careful, otherwise they'd just come apart. But with the steamer it's a little bit gentle. I'll just make one more, and then I'll show you the rest when I've finished. And we cook them. Alright, here we've got our magnificent tray of dumplings in the steamer tray, the baking paper underneath to stop them sticking. We've got our wok with plenty of water in it, but sitting underneath the steaming tray. We're going to set it to steam on the wok, which is 2 off the top. Just before I get it going, we just get a little bit of sesame oil, just give that a little, just a little drizzle over the top. Just gives an extra flavour to the dumplings. We whack the lid on. These will take about 10 to 12 minutes from when they start boiling, from when the steamer starts boiling. So all we've got to do now is make a little bit of dipping sauce, and I'll show you that in a sec. I'm going to make a little bit of chilli dipping sauce, which I particularly like with crabs. I've got my red hot chili powder, which we'll use very sparingly. Again with the sesame oil and the premium soy sauce. Give it a teaspoon out. Very easy on the chili, because we really want to taste these beautiful crabs, not lose it in the red hot chili. A little bit of sesame oil to mix that in with. Just get all that chili into the oil. We'll just top it up with a little bit of soy sauce. There you have it. There's our little dipping sauce for our dumplings. Now all we're going to do is just wait till they're cooked. We'll have a beautiful feast. Here we are, ready for a beautiful dinner. There's our steamed mud crab dumplings. They look fantastic. With an appetizer of mud crab claws, also steamed. So without further ado, we're going to get stuck into it. Well, here we've got the last of the dumplings. Been absolutely delicious. A little bit of my dipping sauce on. Well, what a beautiful feed of mud crab dumplings and crab claws. These steamed claws, certainly the way to go. It keeps the full flavour in, doesn't get boiled out. Just a little bit hard to crack. All of these crabs are very full, which means there's a lot of meat in them. It also makes it a little bit trickier to get them out. Here we go. Here's a magnificent chunk of meat. That ice slurry's really made the difference in them not sticking to the inside of the shell. So look at that, just a magnificent chunk of meat. Beautiful. Well, that's it. Wraps up a great feed.